Alright, guys, welcome back to another DOA6 video. Oh man, it's been insane, the amount of information that has resurfaced recently. I mean, we got new characters, we got new moves, fucking crazy shit happening everywhere. I can't take it. I'm going to die by the time Evo comes around. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to go around. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more fast with all this information. I'm gonna try and go through it a little quicker. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So really quick first before we get into the really interesting stuff. This is something that popped up fairly recently. Something that actually kind of held out on because it didn't seem like it really needed a video all to itself. But in the official Doatech Twitter account, there was a small statement being made about the state of the game and like how the current build of the game is. So it basically says here the development team is now in the midst of a balance adjustment for the Evo exhibition, not only for the full scale adjustment of damage gauges, we'll see that a little bit later, but such as the addition of techniques and the revival of a single side step. It is likely to undergo further changes for the exhibition at E3. So yeah, we'll go over some of the stuff that's being said here a little bit later. But the big one here is that it is indeed true that the single side step without having to do an attack, that is back. So you will be able to just use the side step like you would in DOA 5 just to avoid things, which is pretty good. They're not changing the attack that's linked to it, but you will be able to just do the side step on its own, which is pretty good. And this is another like confirmation and pretty good information for the people that had a little bit of doubt going on with the game, and is that they're listening. Like, they are listening, guys. This change and probably all the further changes that keep coming as we go along with the game are all going to be determined by like the player feedback and all that stuff. So it's good to know that they actually are listening and they're paying attention to what the players are saying. So yeah, you don't need to worry about stuff with the game. Hopefully, at least we'll see how it goes from here. But yeah, so regular neutral side step, it's back, and that's super awesome. But yeah, let's just get into the actual crazy shit now. So the bomb here, the new character, fucking Diego, dude. So in the previous video we talked about it was actually confirmed that for DOA 6 we would be getting two new characters, a female and a male. And it's pretty interesting that we actually got the male first. Again, kind of going like with the tone that DOA 6 is trying to create for itself. But yeah, so Diego, man, like he's cool. I like him. From a design standpoint, I like his design, and his moveset. I think that his moveset and his character and everything is filling in like an archetype that was kind of missing in DOA, which is like, like the straight up brawler that doesn't have a fighting style, that just kind of like flails his arms and legs around and just does shit. So that's pretty cool. It's basically street fighting. That's what he does. People are already making like jokes as like, oh, it's just like Miguel from Tekken and stuff, and there are similarities there. I mean, fuck. Call me crazy, but I can't be the only one. Does this motherfucker not look straight up like Travis Touchdown from the No More Heroes series? Like, just fucking look at this dude, man. I woke up to these news and I was still sleepy and I couldn't see well, and from afar that dude looked straight up like Travis, and I had a like tiny little freak out because I thought they put Travis in the game. But yeah, so I think he's cool. We're not going to go over his moves, like try to break down everything that he does, because I feel it's too early for that. We don't have like the move set. We don't know how his moves flow and stuff like that. You get to see some, basically mostly just throws and like his break blow and all that stuff. So yeah, There's one thing that caught my attention, and I'm going to mention it right now. So in a gameplay exhibition that we're going to take a deeper look at a little bit further, they're just showing like the various characters, like some match footage. In the first match, just right as the round starts, there's this instance where Diego does one of his strings or whatever, gets a wall splat, and then this is the part that caught my attention, like immediately. You, he does the wall splat, and then immediately goes for something that looks exactly, almost exactly, like very similar to Mila's 4PK, right? I think that's what that string is. But he just does it, and it looks exactly the same. So immediately that just kind of like made me think a bunch of things. I was like, oh no, like it is well documented. It is well known in the community that Mila is not a popular character in Japan. Like there are very few people in Japan that actually use that character. I can't think of any off the top of my head. So yeah, I instantly thought, like for Mila players out there, yeah, like you guys should prepare for the worst. I don't want to be pessimistic, or I don't want to be the harbinger of bad news, but yeah, it just looks almost exactly like it. Like the kick looks almost exactly like it. Um, it just is. Now that I'm looking at it right now, it really looks like the exact same animation. It might not start from the same type of 4P, but yeah. So, again, I don't want to get ahead of things. It would really suck if they took a character like Mila out. I think she's really cool. So yeah, we'll just have to see going forward. But yeah, that's something that definitely caught my attention. So yeah, in general, Diego, pretty cool character. I mean, they were just like, yo, Darkslay has to play this character, just make him look like Travis. So, I will definitely try him out. If he's cool, if he fits my playstyle, I'll add him to the characters that I play. But I don't know. I feel that I already play Leon, so it's like it'd be a little bit redundant to play a character like Diego. But we'll see. We'll see. He looks cool enough. So yeah, that's basically it for him. Again, there's like a bunch of gameplay, a bunch of shit being shown on him, but I'm not gonna go into it too deeply now because we don't have a lot of details of his moves and how things work. We need to go over the important stuff, which is things with the characters that we already know, and kind of like the changes that are happening. So let's just get right into that. So I want to go over the changes for 3 characters in this video. A lot of characters are shown. I think all characters all characters in the previous build of the game are shown. I think they all show minor changes or straight up new moves. But I'm going to go over the characters that I personally play, which are Rig, Hayabusa, and Janley. So we're just going to go with Rig first, since he's the one that's shown first. So the first thing is that straight up new moves. So the first thing that's shown here is basically a follow-up to his 4-4K. Now immediately I really like that because it's kind of like what we talked last with the new string for Jan Lee's. Like they're taking these moves that you rarely used to use with the characters before, and they're adding new stuff to it, so that's really cool. So he basically does like this backwards like backflip that probably hits mid and gives this bounce property for your combo off of, which is really cool. It looks nice. I think it's a good addition to his moveset. Again, it comes from a move that you rarely used to use before, so that's the best part. It depends if it's unsafe or safe on block, because if it's unsafe, that's a big boy punish, because he's left back turn. Or is he? I don't know. He may not be left back turn, but regardless, a move like that looks like it could be pretty unsafe. So you know, that should keep that in mind. But I think it's definitely a cool addition to Rig's moveset. Then after getting decked in the face and literally turning hoodless, he drops a pretty big one there for a change in one of his moves, and that is going to be TLC, or turn leg cut, I think that stance is called. But yeah, after rolling forward, basically, that attack is now a high. So for all intents and purposes, that is a pretty big nerf in my opinion, because now you'll just be able to like option select most of Rig's options after TLC by just ducking. Like, you know, you can avoid you can block the low and avoid the high if you just duck. The only real thing that you have to kind of worry about now is like feints, or going for like the triple kick option. So yeah, it may still track, but yeah, making it a high is definitely a nerf in my opinion. You do see at some point in this gameplay, I believe, that it did get turned into a blind stun though, so that is fairly good, especially if you can do the, like, if the raw version is also a high, because you know that's a really good type of stun, but you won't be able to use that much if it's just from like the 6kk variation. But yeah, so that's another change for Rig right there. So then you get to see another move that comes from his H plus K. Now I have no idea what the input for this might be like. Maybe they replaced his old H plus K K, because that's a move that you never used. Or it could be like H plus K 6k or something like that, but it just basically does like a front flip, and it basically causes the same effect as the other move that we saw earlier. It basically just has a backflip and a front flip variation, but it's still pretty cool, you know, that they're adding those type of acrobatic moves for Rig. You can kind of see that in his break blow and his fatal rush too. Very cool animation. So yeah, there are small changes, but they're definitely things that you're going to have to look for when he has you in stun and stuff like that. And another thing is that, you know, these are all causing the bounds property that we talked about in the previous video, so you get to see some of that with Helena as well. I think they're going to be adding new moves that specifically give you that type of property, just to kind of like make it more balanced between all characters, so that all characters can do it, you know. It is basically a new combo mechanic. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome that you get to see that, hopefully with all characters. So that is it for Rig. Now we're going to jump into Hayabusa. He really only has one thing that's easily noticeable. So it basically just like going at it, it's like whatever. And then he does his fatal rush and stops it, I think, at the third hit or whatever. So again, you can combo from those, you know, we already kind of knew that. Then goes for a 4K launch, since that still puts you into an automatic stance. And then here we get to see this crazy fucking move that honestly looks like Ayane would do it instead. But yeah, so it's just like this crazy like spinning move that ends into like a throw, it seems. I don't know if that's a command move or whatever. It looks really fucking cool though. Doesn't seem to do a lot of damage, but I don't know, maybe it's because the fatal rush makes the combo scale like horribly. So yeah, it seems like he got something new of a Nimpo stance, ongoing, whatever you want to call it. So it's left to see if you can use that in neutral, or if it's just going to be exclusive to juggles or whatever. But yeah, pretty cool move. But I don't know, hopefully Hayabusa has more changes than that. So now for the main man, Jan Lee. We did it, guys. We fucking did it. With this whole deal of like stanzas and new moves of stanzas going on, what do you know? What we've been asking for since DOA 5 Ultimate, a low from Dragon stance. It is finally happening. So yeah, it was very surprising to see this. I don't know, there's a lot to think about with this move. First of all, I mean, it comes straight out of freaking Way of the Dragon. Like when Bruce Lee's fighting Chuck Norris, like there's a move that looks like that, somewhat like that. So that's pretty cool. But there's a lot to think about with this move. Immediately, I was like, yeah, like hell yeah, that's super good. But it's left to see if that is actually a like canned string. You know what I mean? So like if both the hits are automatic, or each one is like a button press. Because if it's not, it needs to be a natural combo, right? It needs to be something that combos into itself, because it would be too easy to hold it on reaction. Basically, like it would make the move fairly useless. I don't know. But if it is, then damn, that is super good. Um, but yeah, I mean, it still knocks down on hit, so I think it's perfectly fine being a natural combo. You're gonna get a little bit of low key from it. At the wall, it's gonna be disgusting though, because you do like your 60 at the wall, and if it wasn't fucked up enough, you have to guess between like a million things now, plus this. So yeah, I think it's gonna be great for that. But yeah, holy shit, fucking fucking Bufftown, USA with Jan Lee so far. I mean, we got both these strings look really good for him. So, yeah, that's the only thing that's really noticeable with him. But it's damn good, man. Like it makes me really happy to see that. So, there's one more thing that caught my attention, and we're going to take a look at that right now. So I don't know what this is. I don't know what to make of it yet. But in two parts of the gameplay showcase, with Zack and Helena, they do this weird ass move where it just looks like they push you off, like they're literally just pushing you away, right? And it looks like similar for both of them, and it has like crazy knockback on it, and you see both Zack and Helen do it now. What leads me to believe that this might be like another like universal thing is that it just looks too similar. Like I don't know what to make of it. Like um again, they could show just straight up even more mechanics, like new mechanics, just like a get off me move for all characters, and that would be fairly good. The characters that struggle, like getting people off their range. So that's pretty interesting. It's something that caught my eye there. We've yet to see. It would be pretty interesting to see something like that. Like personally with Genly, you don't need that. Most of his moves already do that. So yeah. Now that we've gone over the specific character stuff, now we're gonna go into more general things. Now, again, those keen eye players that are looking for like the little details or whatever, will notice a pretty big difference here, and it's the fact that now the meter, the break gauge, I think it's called, is segmented into two portions. So that is fucking huge, because not only does it increase the strategic aspects of the game more, you clearly see in the instances of the gameplay that whenever a character goes for a break blow, it consumes 2 gauges. You need 2 bars. You need a full meter to do that, basically. So again, that is fucking huge, because you can still use the what's it called, the break hold regularly, I believe. You can still use the break hold, which is 1 gauge. So that's where the strategic element comes in. You have to save your meter to get that damage with the break blow, or use 2 break holds to get out of any situation. You know what I mean? And that's not even counting for like the options the opponent has. So I really like that. I think that's a really neat way of balancing out like the damage and all of that. The things that people have been complaining about. So yeah, I think that's a really cool change. That will definitely benefit the game now. Hell, imagine they make it like 3 gauges. I think 3 gauges would be too much. But yeah, I think it's great. I think it actually works pretty well now, the way it is. But yeah. So that's going to be it, guys, for this video. Again, just so much crazy information. General game changes. Fucking Travis, Diego touchdown. Hashtag Bufftown USA for Jan Lee. Super happy about that, by the way. And we have Evo right around the corner too, so and we're gonna have even more craziness, more stuff to talk about, hopefully, if I don't die of hype. So yeah, I mean, it's just great. The game just keeps getting better and better, and it's really exciting to see how it develops. So yeah, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time with hopefully more DOA related news. Take care, everyone. Cheers.